The short squeeze seems to have played out yesterday, but the question is, how high will price go? Is there going to be continuation to the upside? And if so, what are the important levels to watch? So that's what we're going to go through on today's show. And let's get straight into the alpha. First and foremost, I want to start off with this tweet over here from 52 Skew, and he says, BTC perps going ham, reaction soon in my opinion, sell side unwind. Spot is still not chasing or interested that much. And essentially what that means is if you take a look at these charts over here, you can see what is going on with the aggregate CVD, which is the cumulative volume delta, which is essentially spot-driven interest within the market. And that has been downtrending for quite some time, meaning that there isn't really any interest. I can't draw trend lines on this, but you can imagine that if you were to put one in over here, it is going to be coming into a resistance zone quite soon. Whereas on the other side, when you look at the leverage has kind of been flat throughout and has now started to tick back up. And every time we get near this range, so again, if you could draw a horizontal line over here, you'd see that the leverage is coming into an area of resistance. And that is, again, for the futures traders, meaning that the move that was just initiated is essentially shorts that are covering. So leverage short traders that are covering their short trades into those range lows. And then it's them flipping long or others that are jumping in to go long. And yesterday you could see on the GMX, it was heavily in favor of the bulls, meaning that there were much more shorts. And usually the traders that you take the opposite of the majority, or you don't just blindly take the opposite, but you start to look for the opposite. And you can see it's kind of reset now. You have 72 million in longs and 62 in shorts. So it's kind of evened out again. And that means that kind of we're reaching areas of resistance in price. And therefore, they're kind of starting to take their profit. So price action wise, high time frame, not much has changed. I don't want to focus too much on the high time frames. I just wanted to mention on the monthly chart, keep an eye on this because we are coming into the monthly close very soon. And with that being said, MACD is starting to tick up. RSI is still trending down. So a little bit of conflicting data over there. But the main area of interest, first zone is 13,957 key monthly level. Let's see how price reacts over there. From current price action, that would be how far down from here? Let's take a very quick look. If it were to get there this month, I mean, you'd be looking at another 16% move to the downside. And I do expect a major reaction over there. It could potentially go through. If it goes through that, then you're looking at 10,300. And if it goes through that, you're looking at all the way down at about 8,000, which is numbers that most people don't want to hear. But I wouldn't be surprised to see price action in the long term do something like this. So you can see we've been downtrending, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of a bottom formation that looks like that, which would come in early next year, sometime in Q1, Q2 of next year to form that base. So that's high time frame, what I'm kind of looking at. And Dylan Leclerc shown over here with the VIX. He says here that it's almost that time again, the VIX with the S&P 500 and the DXY. And kind of when you look at this, if you focus on the vertical levels throughout, that is most of the time when you start to get to a zone where there's a reaction. Look at the bottom section over here of the VIX. The VIX is coming into those low regions again, the low 20s, possibly even the teens. And usually that is when the VIX will start to bounce and then the next major move occurs. So he's essentially outlined the VIX bottoms with the vertical, and then have a look at the corresponding price action on the S&P 500 and the DXY. It's led to each major trend-changing move, and that is something to keep an eye on. With that being said, of course, the S&P 500 has also had a push-up, which is, of course, why crypto has experienced a little bit of a bullish move. And this is the main area of interest for me personally. The pivotal level is going to be the 200-day moving average. So it's very easy for any of you at home. You don't need to copy my chart. Literally just go to the S&P 500 futures ES1 with the exclamation mark. That is the ticker. Put that on your chart, put on a 200-day moving average, and then wait for price to come into that zone. And then you can see what to do next. If you look historically, what happened in August, it hit into that, rejected, 200-day moving average is facing down, and therefore it creates a shorting opportunity. Now, most of you probably only trade crypto, but if you do want to short the S&P 500, you can do that on Prime XBT. So a big shout out to them. They are one of our sponsors, and there is a link in the description below if you do wish to join there. I think it trades this one on about a 5x leverage cross margin. So as long as you know what you're doing over there, you should be good. Check that out. That is an opportunity. Now, on to altcoins. I've got a couple of things that I wanted to mention over here. And the first and foremost is, we covered this yesterday. This is total 3. So it's pretty much all the altcoins. It excludes Bitcoin, excludes Ethereum. So it's most of the others. And as you can see, got a simple trend line over there. Price temporarily yesterday broke just below. And you'll see that if I just move this up ever so slightly. There we go. Temporarily broke below, but it's now reacting off of that zone. And I'm sure you've seen that within your charts this morning, that a lot of the altcoins are rallying. Litecoin is one of them, with a massive push to the upside. And now the question is, will this bounce continue? I think it's too soon to tell, but I just wanted to outline the potential bullish case, which is still just a relief rally, by the way. I would just look at it like this. At the very best case scenario for bulls would be something like that, and it would look like this. If you do see some sort of a push up over there, that would not surprise me to form the next lower high and a final bull trap, and then you eventually break that down and come into the lower levels. I feel quite set in my ways at the moment that this horizontal will get tagged. The diagonals are just secondary for me. They're not my main focus. And it looks like there is very little support over here. So I wouldn't expect that altcoins are going to defy the entire market. When you relate this chart to currently what Bitcoin's doing, Bitcoin has already broken below these levels over here. So Bitcoin is already sitting somewhere around here. And I would not expect that altcoins are going to bounce from this zone over here, and that's going to be the permanent low. I doubt it. I think that they will eventually sweep through as well, just like Bitcoin has, and come into that low region, which brings the market cap down to about 179 to 200 billion on the total 3. So that's what I'm watching over there. Basically, in summary with this chart, I'm not surprised if there is going to be a little bit of a bounce from this region, meaning that altcoins rally creates a massive bull trap. Once we get to this region, most people would be calling for the bottom again. And yesterday and the day before that, I did outline to you guys the potential for a bounce on Bitcoin at the very least. And I'll cover those areas now. But I wanted to first just look at the daily, also for some perspective. Essentially, with the daily, you have quite a massive range if you are looking at the daily as a range. And the reason why is because you would have this, which is your swing high, okay, coming all the way up at 294. Let's round up. $21,300 is your swing high. And now you made a new swing low, which is the bottom over here, coming in at 15,574. So if price is not going to break down over the course of this month and next month, then what you would expect is the potential for this area to act as a range. And I'd kind of view it as 2 ranges. As you can see, this is mid-range, and you would have range 1 and range 2. We're kind of in range 2 at the moment. And the way that I would be viewing it is that most of the price action would probably take place within this region as the main area of control. And the reason why is because this horizontal zone over here, as I'm sure you can all see, the way that price reacted within these zones, you got the wicks over there, you got the wicks over there. And then if you just move this up over there, that's also where your major breakdown took place. Once we lost that area, then we started to establish a new range. So I'm kind of viewing it as that. Best case scenario for me is a push into this zone over here, which is coming in around that 18,300 level. And this is exactly, I'm just repeating what I said on Monday and Tuesday. All the moving averages are angled down, meaning that is additional resistance to play around with. So keep that in mind with your day-to-day trading. Now, looking at this chart over here, this is our 4-hour chart, pretty much the same range over here. This range that I'm showing over here is what I just showed on this chart as range 2. So this section over here, I'm just on a low time frame. Okay, so what you're seeing over here, we've reclaimed the 21 EMA as well as the 50 EMA. Now, next major area of resistance for me is going to be about 16,800. If on the low time frame it manages to hold and clear this level, then that would be my next target, which is going to be my final take profit. And the reason why is it comes into the range high. It also comes into the 200 exponential moving average, which is currently trending down. So 18,000 is pretty much where I would be taking my final take profits. So the trade that I gave on Monday, I said, watch for this, and we'll go over the low time frame stuff now on the 1-hour chart. But I said, watch for potential deviation over here, break back into the range, then you go long, take your first profit over there, take your second profit over there. So everything is playing out exactly the same way still. And we'll get onto that one now. So here was your trigger from yesterday. Let me know in the comments if you managed to take this. I know this one you would have had to have watched this like a hawk and probably been right in front of the screen as it happened, because as you can see, it was an extremely, extremely aggressive move. You had the trend line over there. You're watching for the break back into the range. So break back into the range, which is also simultaneously a break of that trend line. That was the signal to go long, and off it went. So here we currently are. I do think it will probably make it the full way to the mid-range, which is coming in just before 17,000. So as you can see, straight up, consolidate, and probably going to go straight up again one more time over there, and then we can reevaluate. Clear that level and break through. Maybe it does the same thing over there until we get to about 18,000. So basically, in summary, short term, things look like they are temporarily long. Do not confuse that with high time frame stuff. That does not mean that the bottom is in by any means. Personally, I don't think that it is. So that's what I'm watching over there on Bitcoin. Now you have this tweet over here from, how do you even say that? Oro Borrows Capital. Someone just started shorting Curve again. 3 million Curve borrowed from Aave and sent to Binance. So in case some of you have missed it, basically they kind of like hacked the system over here with DeFi. DeFi is meant to be decentralized. So they're borrowing from Aave. Borrowing Curve from the Aave protocol, taking that onto an exchange, and then they're running both shorts and longs and basically just making free money. So I thought, let's take a look at some of these altcoins very quickly. Let's go on this chart over here. 4 hour, let's take a look at Curve. Okay, here's Curve. All right, so Curve, this is not really a swing trade. Bear in mind, any positions that you're taking on this are incredibly risky, especially when you have big players that are kind of manipulating the prices over here. But from a technical analysis perspective, the first thing that stands out to me is going to be the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour chart. And you'll notice that also matches up with the swing low that came in October. So this is a little bit of a horizontal area of interest. I'll be watching this zone over here. If it can start to reclaim above this, then potentially you start to work within a bigger range, and you can start to target up towards $1.15. Okay, it's not even, it's $1.01. So I'm looking at this. Watch this over here. Just mark that off. That area over there. You're kind of watching this as one range. I know it's a very untidy drawing over there. It's all skew. But there we go. Like that. This is kind of the range that I'm watching. So if there is weakness that's found within this area, that will be an opportunity to short Curve back down. And as you can see, this other guy's shorting it right now, but wait for confirmation. These are big moves. These are big moves on Curve. So you can kind of follow along with these guys. That if it were to go all the way back down, that's 38%. 38% range is enormous. You don't need much leverage to play around with something like that. Let's take a look at what else? Litecoin. Litecoin's been one that's pumping. Speculation that maybe it's got to do with their halving event. You know that Bitcoin has a halving, so does Litecoin. Litecoin is pretty much similar to Bitcoin's code. I think their halving comes in 2023, next year. So it's like a year out from the halving event. And that could be one of the reasons that this is run. It's hard to say. Not much to comment on this. Just a massive pump. I'm not sure that I would really be a buyer of this right now. Lower time frame. Let's go on a 1 hour, see what that looks like, if there would be an opportunity on this. Okay, I would look the way that I'd view this on an hourly chart. Again, these things can be dangerous to play with when they run this quick, but very, very simply put, easy trend line over there. It does match up as well with the 21 exponential moving average. If there is a pullback for Litecoin into this zone, you have an easy invalidation, which would be below that level over there. And you could build a position between these moving averages, between the 21 and the 50 exponential moving average. So that's what I'd be looking at for Litecoin. Is there anything else? Anything else that's run really hard over here? Let's just quickly scan through. Just looks like a general short squeeze to me, guys. Nothing is really standing out. Yeah, it all looks about the same. Let's take a look at what the volatility looks like over here on Litecoin. So look at that. It's already been redlined. That means that you're pretty much reaching near the end of that move. That's on the BBWP. So be careful on the short term. Expect that there could be some a little bit of a pullback within this region, and then there could be an opportunity to go long. I'll keep my eyes on the charts throughout today. There are some coins that have broken structure to the upside. They've broken their bearish structure, which means that maybe this rally could go on a little bit further than expected. With that being said, guys, check out in the description below. Everything should be there for the competition. If you do want to join into the OKX trading competition, you can win up to $2 million worth of prizes. Also, there is free NFTs that you can claim over there. And that also works like a prize pool. So everything is in the link below. Just have a look there. You can sign up, click that link, click this link over here to create a Web3 wallet, and then submit your Web3 address in the Google Forms below. First 50 people will get a free NFT. You don't even have to pay for the gas fees. And then also the OKX competition link is also in the description below if you do wish to join. So very quick show. That's about it. I think we've covered it all, and I will see you all on the next video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Cheers for now.